So I got to see an artist called Novo Amor a few months back. It was at a venue here in Minneapolis called First Avenue, one of my favorite rooms to see an artist in. It was a really inspiring show to see. The live performance was incredible. The sounds and tones from the stage were great. But one of the things I took away from the show was the artist's use of the capo. And a lot of the songs that he would play were on electric, something similar to this Vox I'm holding here, but with a capo pretty high up the neck, in some familiar first position chord shapes and progressions, but in a higher register than you would expect, and one that just kind of brought out the kind of bright, cheerful tones and sounds from that capoed position. Kind of had me thinking back to when I was first learning the guitar back in middle school and early high school. And one thing that I kind of came across from different players and on forums and just from different voices in the guitar space, this kind of resounding message that you shouldn't use a capo, you shouldn't rely on a capo, just that sort of negativity towards the tool. And so I kind of wanted to raise a little stink about that today in this video and kind of open it up to hear some different thoughts or opinions that you might have about using capos, the good, the bad, the use cases for them. But I really want to kind of assert the opinion that capos aren't bad, that you can use capos for creative reasons, you can use capos for intentional reasons, that there are some awesome use cases and reasons for using capos, and perhaps there are some reasons that using a capo might be to your detriment as a player developmentally. So let's get into it. Why do I want to dispel this lie that capos are bad? Well, first of all, I think kind of based on that show experience and just in my experience as a guitar player as I've developed in the craft and developed in songwriting, I think that there's incredible value to using a capo to your advantage strategically, whether it be to position those first position chords in a better key for your voice vocally, whether it just be a creative decision to move some of those shapes and those chord progressions up the neck for a higher register kind of sound or feel. I think those are great reasons to use a capo. And I was really inspired, like I mentioned, by Novo Amor and certainly other artists that have kind of just made those creative artistic decisions to capo way up the neck and to play certain chord shapes or certain progressions just in an effort to find different sounds and different feelings and emotions. Every different key and even every different chord shape and voicing kind of brings out a different feel and a different emotion to it. And so if you're limiting yourself by not using a capo or not allowing for a capo, you're kind of limiting the ways in which you can find those kind of feelings and those chord voicings and shapes that really fit the mood or the vibe of the song that you're writing or playing. So I just think you should leave that on the table as an option to utilize this as a tool to get the sounds and the feelings that you're going for on guitar. Now, what are the drawbacks of using a capo? I do think that there is validity to an argument here, mainly one that uses the capo as a crutch. So as you're developing your skills and as you're learning the guitar, I think that you're doing a disservice if you rely on the capo to be able to play in different keys. A lot of people, I think, bristle at the capo because it's kind of that cliche mechanism to allow you to learn the G, C, and D first position chords and then just slide it up or down the neck as you need. I think if you're in that boat, I would strongly encourage you to put the capo in the drawer for a season and really dig into learning some of your different chord shapes and voicings, to be able to play up and down the neck in different keys and to get that familiarity with different keys. and playing in each of those. So I definitely hear that argument and think that if you're using the capo as a crutch, it might be a time to put that in the drawer and to really kind of grow some of those muscles, whether it be learning new chord shapes or just putting in the time to learn different progressions in different keys up and down the neck. This not only will allow you to have more fluidity and versatility in playing different songs in different keys, but it also kind of opens up the doorway to start to learn some more theory and to start to learn some more of the ways that chords go together, the ways that one chord follows the next chord, and just kind of allows you to do some of that ear training and some of that theory work as well, without just relying on this kind of mile marker up and down the neck that the capo can sometimes be. So those are just some off-the-cuff thoughts about capos. I'm a big fan of using them. I'm a big fan of using them on electric, on using them in songwriting to kind of position your home base for the sounds and kind of the mood and the feeling that you're wanting, and also just to find the ways that you can get either those open string resonances or different notes and chord choices that really work for what you're writing. I really don't tend to use them much live at the churches that I play at. I tend to use different chord shapes that kind of negate the need for a capo. I'm usually playing far less notes, triads or dyads when I'm playing in that environment, and you just really don't need a capo for that type of setting. Maybe that's a whole nother video for another day, but I would highly encourage you to kind of dispel the lie, if it's one that you've been told, that capos are bad, and really embrace them for the creative avenues you want to go down and for the sounds that you want to make. Thanks for watching the video here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hit subscribe below if you're new to the channel here and follow along. And if you are looking at these Vox guitars, please hit the link below too. Vox has been a huge supporter of the channel here, and I think these guitars are interesting and worth your look. If you're checking out one of the minis that you saw in the intro sketch, you can use code AE10 for 10% off at checkout and save a little money there. But more than anything, I hope that you are enjoying your journey with guitar, that music is a source of joy and inspiration for you, and I hope you have a great day and a great week. Take care.